Yo, what's up, everyone? My name's Dave, and you suck at programming. All right, today we're going to talk about SSH, specifically SSH keys, the SSH agent, how all that authentication stuff works. And the reason we're doing this is because, guys, some of you guys in the comments have been asking, hey, are you SSHing without a password? Do you have no authentication? That's kind of cringe. What are you doing? Of course I'm not, all right? I'm not using a password, but I'm using keys, and I'm going to show you guys how to set up the exact same thing that I have set up here. All right, so to get started, I'm going to show you an example. So let's say I'm on my local machine, and I want to log into a machine I have called Arbiter. I can run SSH. I log right in. Let's say I want to go through Arbiter and I want to get devoid. Okay, works no problem. Doesn't ask me for a password, just uses the keys under the hood. How do I know this? Well, I can run ssh-add-l and I can see that my key is loaded. So I have this key currently loaded and I can log into other machines using this key. The key is on my desktop and the agent is being loaded. The agent's being forwarded to all these machines so they can talk back over the socket and they can authenticate requests. So none of these machines can see my key, but they can ask something to be, they can answer challenges using this key. So let's back out. Let's back out a second. Let's log back into Arbiter, but this time we're going to run with -a. What does this do? This disables forwarding of the key. So now that I'm logged into Arbiter, that key is not being forwarded. I can run ssh-add-l and I can see that there is no agent running. If I try to log into void, it fails. It gives me permission denied. Cool. I can't go out anywhere here. So why is this important? Why is this useful? Well, I'll show you. So right now I can start my own SSH agent if I wanted to. Typically you would do this in some sort of, shell startup script or something, and you wouldn't do this by hand, but I'm gonna show you how to do it by hand. We can run SSH agent, and now it is running in the background. It forked itself, it's running in the background, and it gave me this stuff. It gave me a link to the SSH auth socket. This is where the socket lives. It showed me the current running PID, and it echoes the agent PID is here. This is meant to be executed by your shell. So I can Command C, Command V, it's a little bit different than Control C. Copy and paste. I can copy and paste it. Bam, I copied that in, I paste that in. So what does that let me do now? If I run ssh-add-l and list my keys, you can see I'm getting a different message. I'm still getting an error, but the error isn't that it's not running. The error is that I have no identities. I have no keys. So what can we do? Well, we can create a new key. So let's create a new key on Arbiter. We'll run ssh-keygen, no arguments, and it will ask me where do I want to save this key. It uses the default path of .ssh id_rsa. Let's go with that. That's fine. Do we want a passphrase? Sure. How about we'll make the passphrase, you suck. Bam. And there we go. Now it created a key. So what exactly did it create for us? Well, I'll show you. In .ssh, where is it? .ssh is a directory. There is id_rsa.pub and id_rsa. So what are those two files? Well, let's check them out. id_rsa, this is my private key. It is encrypted with the password I used, you suck, but this is the private key. And then what is the .pub? This is the public key. This is what I can give to other people. If you've ever seen a authorized host file or something, like, let's see, I'm on a void machine and I can look at my .ssh and there's authorized keys. This is what you would put in there. Authorized keys, not authorized hosts. This is what you would see in there. If you were on someone's GitHub and you want to look at their public keys, this is what you would see, this format. All right, so what can we do with this? Well, we can give that public key out to people, and then we can log in, or we can give it out to different machines, and we can log in using this private key. Well, first we have to load the key into our agent. We just created the key, but we didn't load it into our agent. We can load it with ssh-add. This will automatically find the key here, and then we can put the passphrase in, you suck, and now we added the identity. So what does that mean? If we run ssh-add-l, we can list it, and we can see that this identity is currently running. You can also run it with -L, and you will get the same output. You will see this is the public key. It outputs the public key. So what can I do with this now? Well, we can use this key to SSH into void. If we SSH into void right now, it still fails. That's because void doesn't know about this key. We just created this key. So let's go over to here. I already have a terminal open to void. This is through a different connection that's not using any of those keys. Imagine you logged into this machine manually or through a password or something. We can edit the authorized .ssh authorized keys file. And you can see there's already two keys in here. I have one for my M1 MacBook and one for the studio. That's just the names of them. That's what I'm reading off of. The names are at the end. And then we can edit this. We can dump the new key in here. We can write and quit the file. And now that new key's in there. So we can go back here, rerun the SSH, and bam, we're logged in using that brand new key that we just created. So yeah, hopefully this helped demystify SSH keys for you a little bit.